Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another Hey, Allenia, Renee. Hey, and we have our question for this Tuesday. We had another question that came in also, so I will be covering that question on probably on Thursday. We will probably have two of these, so look out right here live on Facebook or also on YouTube. Remember, if you are just joining us and you would like for me to see that you actually commented, please make sure that down below you let StreamYard know that you are right here. So that I can read your name. And also, if you are on YouTube, let me know. Say hello, please. I would love to know that you're out there listening. If this information isn't for you, but you know of someone else that could use, a little bit of advice, from a life coach, please make sure that you share this with others out there. And we're going to go ahead and get into the juicy bits and things of this uh, question for today. And I know you're probably checking out the merchandise I'm wearing. So I will be getting into that a little ways in to tell you about our merchandise, a little bit about the shirt that I'm wearing. So let's get into today's question. Hello, Sherry. I see you out there on YouTube. So thank you for joining me this evening. So, all right, y'all, juicy bits and things of today's question. So, this question is from Stella. And she writes, how do you tell an adult that their priorities are out of order because they act like they are the victim when something doesn't go right? So I know you heard me chuckle because it's funny because as adults, it's so interesting that a lot of these behaviors children exhibit, but we as adults, we have perfected them, right? So one of those things is that, what, priorities can be out of whack. We can think something is important and it really isn't because it isn't really adding value to our life. However, to sit there and tell someone that, may not be the best thing unless you are like a guardian or a parent or someone that they're coming to for that advice. So, here are a couple of suggestions that I have for you. The number one thing that I want you to do is to ask yourself, why do you care? Why do you care that number one, that this person's priorities are out of whack and that they are crying victim all the time? By asking yourself that question will actually help you to navigate in the other areas that I am going to discuss. So ask yourself, why do you care? All right. So if you care because they're a family member and you love them, you want to see them do the right thing or do the best thing. If you're a parent and you want to keep your child from, going through, a hard time, there could be many a reasons that your sibling or that a close friend of yours, so you have a reason why you care. And by understanding the reason why you care, you need to look at, is this something that will affect your health or your finances? Okay, by looking at that, number one, if it's not impacting you in any way, them choosing this priority that's not that you deem not important, right? Um, then you need to ask yourself, okay, if I care, is this impacting me or affecting me in any way for my health or my finances? Okay, so let's just say you say no. This is really on them. This is something on them. Okay, then ask yourself the next question. Are you one of the recipients of them not making this a priority? So, meaning, are you the priority that we're talking about? Such as, are you a spouse? Are you a girlfriend? Are you a significant other? That you feel you should be prioritized and you're not. Okay. So you care for a reason, and this might be a reason. Are you impacted by that? in any way, shape, or form. And then and then the third thing I want you to ask yourself, are they blaming you when something goes wrong? So by looking at those three things, okay? Number one, if you find that it's not impacting you, them making this choice, your health or your finances, then really, should you really even tell them? Okay. But let's just say you are a parent and this is financially impacting you in some way, that the poor choices that they're making, or that's your spouse or your significant other, then you have to say something because it is impacting you. If you notice, all the questions that I asked you is about you, it's not about them. You always want to make sure that you're giving yourself joy in anything that you do. And this also counts as well. So if you say, yes, it's impacting you, then I would say something. Okay. Yes, you should care because you will have to deal with the impact of it, um, either via your health or via your finances. Okay. And that can be a huge burden. Or if, especially if they're doing something that will cause them to make it so that you have to take care of them in some kind of way, right? And that's health and finances. And then the second one I had said that, are you the priority? So that means that it's your spouse, significant other, or someone else that they should be prioritizing whatever it is that's needed for you, and they are not. And then when it's not done, they blame you for not telling them or not pushing them. So again, you need to say something because of the fact that you want to make sure that you're benefiting from what is being said or what is being done. Okay. And you want to make sure that you are being made a priority. If you are not, let's just say this is someone that you're dating, then maybe this isn't someone you want to continue to date because they are not going to make you a priority. Understand, people get very comfortable in complacency quickly. And if you allow them to continue to not make you a priority, whether you're dating, engaged, married, doesn't matter. They will always make you third, fourth, or fifth, and their priorities will continue to be out of whack. Okay. So, the second thing that I want you to really think about is to understand that this is their stuff. So, let's just say you go through it and you say to yourself, no, the reason why I care is, it's not affecting me, my health or my finances. It has nothing to do with me. And no, they're not blaming me. They just come to me complaining. Then you need to understand something. And I wrote this actually in my book. I have a quote in my book that says that you should be owning your stuff and hefty bagging their stuff. Okay. Everyone else's stuff, you hefty bag it. It is not your responsibility or your priority to fix them. It isn't. It is your job to fix you. You can listen if you choose to, and even that's a choice. Again, hefty bag their stuff. So once they talk to you about it, you may choose to decide that, you know what, okay, they just talked to me about it, and they have to figure this out for themselves. Don't lose sleep over it. Do not waste any extra time because time is valuable. You cannot get it back. You can't box it up and you cannot borrow it. So you want to make sure that you are, you know, hefty bagging their stuff. Okay. That's the simplest way I can put it. So, in yes, Sherry, hefty bag it. Hefty bag it. And I say hefty bag because if you know a hefty bag is supposed to be very strong and can hold a lot of stuff. Put it in there, throw it away, and don't even look at it again. Okay. That's what you need to do when someone does that. So if you're just joining us, we have one more piece of advice for this question. So today's question is given to us by Stella, and she writes, how do you tell an adult that their priorities are out of order because they act like they are the victim when something doesn't go right? So before we even get into the last juicy bit, of this conversation, I want to show you the merchandise. Check this out. Yes. Okay. See it, check it out, check it out, check it out. Sustainable habits inspire mindful transformation. Yes, this merchandise will be on sale coming soon. So I'm very excited about that. And we have some other things that will be in the Shift Your Life catalog that you will be able to purchase. There will be a link and all of that good stuff for the items to be delivered to you. So stay tuned, please. Make sure that you have shared this video. Give it a thumbs up if you are on Facebook, or if you're over there on, over on YouTube. Please make sure you give this a thumbs up, because that will allow the algorithm to know that, hey, that there are other people out there that are interested in what this video is all about. And that does help me out. All right. So let's go ahead and get into the last point that I want to make with this question. So we already talked about why do you care? And then we also discussed understanding that this is not your stuff. Okay. And then the last thing that I wanted to discuss was for you to avoid getting drawn into their self inflicted circumstances. Okay. And when I talk about hefty bagging their stuff, I'm serious. Hefty bag it, let it go. But what I mean by avoiding being drawn into it. So most of the time we are listening. We are that listening ear. And you know what? Most of us are kind-hearted that way, that we want to give a listening ear. But avoiding being drawn in, meaning that once they go into pity mode, once they start being the victim, then I would strongly, strongly suggest that you do not contribute to it and saying this. Oh, I can see what you're saying. I can understand where you're coming from, because that's not telling the truth. You really don't understand, and nor do you agree, because you're already saying that their priorities are all off whack. So if they're all out of whack, you have not said that, hey, your priorities are out of whack, then why are you understanding, trying to say that you understand? You don't have to do that. Avoid doing that. Listening to them, allowing them to say what they have to say, will keep you from being gaslighted later. Meaning that if you avoid saying, I understand, then they won't come back saying, oh, well, you understood when I did X, when I said this, or when I did that. You understood it at that point in time. So what makes it so different now? I'm doing all that I can, but yet, no one is understanding me but you. If you want to avoid being that person that's, put in that position, then don't do it. Avoid being drawn in. Listen. Once they finish, say, okay. If it's time for you to get off the phone, then tell them, you know what? All right, well, I hope you work everything out. You let them go and say what you mean. Exactly, Sherry. Sherry's over on YouTube, and she says, say what you mean. And you're exactly right. So, at that point, do not say you understand, say, you know what? It sounds like your priorities are out of whack. And until you figure that out, this is going to be a constant problem for you. Being honest with them is the best way to go. Or do not put yourself in that position at all to give them a lie of, I understand, because you truly don't. Okay. So I really do hope that this helps you out. And please make sure that you share it on your page or share it on YouTube with someone else that may benefit from the answer to this question. And I will see you on Thursday. And don't forget that sustainable habits inspire mindful transformation to help you get your shift right. All right. I will talk to you later, everyone. Bye.